Okay, check it out. Welcome back once again to another episode of Focus. Alright, so we're in a new studio and you know how it goes. Bear with me for any technical difficulties or gremlins we might have to, interfere with or convene with when you see the time comes. But once again, welcome back to another episode of Focus. I'd like to talk to you today about something amazing as far as the world's concerned and even the UK. Not so much for the people concerned though, but just listen. It's a somber send-off as the UK's last coal-fired power plant in Nottinghamshire shuts down. Rain poured down the giant cooling towers at Ratcliffe-on-Soar power plant as the last wisps of steam floated away from them. In the control room, the mood was somber. It was a grim day for a send-off. Rain poured down the giant cooling towers at Ratcliffe-on-Soar power plant in Nottinghamshire as the last wisps of steam floated away from them. The fading warmth of the furnaces shut down the night before, bleeding into the low cloud above. A slow end to the UK's 142-year reliance on coal for electricity. In a marquee below, former workers, power industry executives, civil servants and a government minister gathered to say thanks to the staff at the UK's last coal-fired power plant. Like any good wake, this was also a celebration of the 57-year-long life of the plant itself. A life in which it provided power to most of the East Midlands. The broadcast of the moon landings, the floodlights at Nottingham's Forest City's grounds, and according to their representatives, over 6,000 or 6,821 episodes of EastEnders, all powered by electrons flowing from its turbines. A cozy factoid from Uniper, the company that owns the plant, it generated enough power in its lifetime to have made 2 trillion cups of tea. Away from the celebration, the mood in the control room was more somber. Some of the staff have worked at the plant since it was owned by the Central Electricity Generating Board. The moment when they gave the instruction to stop generating the night before one of them told me, very sad. After shutting the plant down, another one of the team walked through the now quiet turbine hall to say their goodbyes. They've known this moment was coming for a decade, ever since the government announced a phase-out of coal power by 2025. That lead time has allowed their union and employer to protect the jobs of all 140 workers at the plant. But there is now a far more ambitious and necessary goal to phase out all fossil fuels from our electricity grid by 2030. Managing that rapid transition while protecting the jobs of tens of thousands of workers still employed in fossil fuel industries in the UK will be much harder. But amongst that, there's also calls, to save the towers themselves. So calls to save the cooling towers as the power station shuts down. Calls have been made to save the cooling towers at Ratcliffe-on-Soar power station after the plant went offline for the last time on Monday, the 1st of October. The 374-foot or 114-meter tall towers were described as concrete cathedrals by Nottinghamshire-born TV writer James Graham, as he suggested that they should be preserved. Monday's closure marked the end of 142 years of UK coal power, as the nation became the first G7 member to completely phase out coal from its electricity mix. Michael Shanks, Minister of Energy, told the BBC he appreciated the site's industrial heritage, but said that moving on with the sites is really important. It is planned that the power plant will be decommissioned over the next 2 years, after which it is expected to be demolished. Though a petition has now been launched to preserve some of the cooling towers as a monument to the country's industrial past. Mr. Graham said on X, "Some might think they're ugly. I think they're majestic. Concrete cathedrals. I got to stand inside one, filming Sherwood Series 2. I've never stood anywhere like it on earth. I'd love future generations to stand in them too. But they are inexplicably all going, all of them." He suggested Radcliffe-on-Soar could be home to a national museum of the Industrial Revolution, welcoming travelers to the birth of the modern world. The 20th Century Society, which fights to save industrial heritage, has called for the towers to be listed. Most towers have a status which prevents this from happening, although Radcliffe does not at this time. The local Democracy Reporting Service said, "Operator Uniper hopes to turn the site into a green energy hub under a local development order which was passed last year." Mr. Shanks added, "This site has huge potential as a net zero energy hub for the future. We want that in an area like this to bring those skilled, well-paid jobs to the future. And we don't want the industrial site to maybe hold back some of that. So, I think that it's a balance, and it will be for the local community and the Uniper, and for Uniper here to make that decision." Peter O'Grady says it has been an emotional few days. Peter O'Grady, plant manager, told the BBC that Monday was for the staff, while Tuesday symbolized the end of the Industrial Revolution in one circumstance. He added, "Coal has been the backbone of power in the UK for over a century. And here we are now, the first day of zero coal on the electricity system. As an icon for the world in terms of climate leadership, it's a huge statement. But once again, not so much for the people who used to work there." But like I said, Earth is an amazing place. I mean, every day something outstanding and absolutely fascinating happens. And when you hear about stories like this, I mean, come on. You can only see nothing but hope for the future, right? I mean, literally, the future can be only greener. Either way, once again, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Focus. Thanks for joining, and if you like what you hear, stick around for the Thoughts and Facts section. If you want to hear more stories like these, check out other episodes. But swiftly moving on, we're going to go on to, as I said, the Thoughts and Facts section. So let's start with this. Did you know that the very first coal-powered station was the Holborn Viaduct? It was in 1882 that the coal was first used to generate electricity for public use. In January of that year, the world's first coal-fired power station began operating at Holborn Viaduct in London. I mean, that is amazing, either way you look at it, right? In 1810, coal began to be used for town gas, for lighting, and from 1830 it was used to fuel the expansion of the railways as they snaked across Britain. Built by the Edison Electric Light Station Company, the 1,500 light generator, known as Jumbo, supplied electricity for lighting the viaduct and surrounding businesses until 1886. It was hailed by Edison himself as a success. These new uses, supplying heat, light, and locomotion in addition to the industrial energy, helped drive a steep uptick in the use of coal in the UK. Demand grew more than tenfold, from 14.9 million tons in the 1800s to 172.6 million tons by the 1900s, which, as we all know, was the birth of the Industrial Revolution. London, UK was the first. But here's another interesting fact. Yeah? You want to know the best one? Out of all the OECD countries, England is actually the 14th to actually join this group of, how do you call it, coal-free green countries. But altogether, it is actually the first G7 country to be coal-free, completely green, which is a remarkable achievement. But just bear with me, I'm having some technical difficulties as usual. You know what, I'll get to it in 1 second. You know how life goes. Our history is pretty vast and we're making it pretty fast, but you know, in the grand scale of it all, what's a couple extra seconds of your time? The fact is that a third of the OECD countries are now coal-free. 14 OECD countries, more than a third of the 38 countries in the OECD, no longer generate electricity from coal. 3 have never had coal power plants to begin with: Costa Rica, Estonia, and Lithuania. There are further 11 OECD countries that once used coal but since have closed their last coal plant: Iceland in 1951, Switzerland in 1960, Luxembourg in 1998, Latvia in 2010, Belgium in 2016, Sweden and Austria in 2020, Portugal in 2021, Norway in 2023, and Slovakia and now London or the UK in 2024. Each of these countries had more wind and solar generation in 2023 than they had coal at peak times. The UK has now also joined the list. Its last coal power plant closed at midnight on the 30th of September this year. Well, I said the 1st of October, but you know how it goes. Although its shift from coal to wind and solar was mostly already complete half a decade ago, coal power made up almost 40% of UK generation in 2012, shrinking to 2% by 2019 and finally falling to 0 by October 2024. Can't remember exactly where I saw it or read it, but from 2002 or 2012, don't quote me on that, I think coal power generation fell by minus 52%. So we were doing pretty well, or I should say are doing pretty well. But now that you've got a few facts about the situation, how about I give you a few thoughts? I mean, come on. London, UK, a G7 country, coal-free, running on nothing but petrol generators, yes, and wind and solar. I mean, come on, that's amazing. There's a few hydro dams operating as well, but I mean, come on. Let's say 10, 15, 20 years ago, when solar panels first came out, wind turbines, everyone looked at this and laughed at it. Everyone said it would never get anywhere. Right now, we're actually standing on the precipice, on the brink of an entirely new revolution. Be it industrial, be it economical, hell, even space. How far we can go, how far we can push this is unbelievable and incredible. It sets a precedent and it sets something, or a foundation, I should say, to aspire to. I mean, we can actually look at our children, look at future generations and say, hey, here's a major country that does not use coal anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. I know there's plenty of countries out there that are still using coal, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to say they shouldn't be doing it, because at the end of the day, the UK or G7 or any other of these OECD countries are more or less well-funded, meaning it's easier for them to transition from fossil fuels to greener energy. Many countries don't have the funds, capabilities, or the necessary infrastructure even to build upon, or should I say the necessary foundation to build this infrastructure upon. So, as far as I'm concerned, each to their own. And I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, if it is what they can do at the moment, you can't say that they can't do it. If they can't do it or they don't do it, it leaves them with none. And if transitioning means that it puts the economy, if not their own electricity grids, at risk, it's something you need to seriously consider. But, as I said, it still leaves us in a situation where we can actually say to future generations, here's a major country that does not use fossil fuels, or more or less. First stage, let's say phase 1. As it said, they were meant to be phasing it out by 2025. And hey, I'll be honest with you, it's actually a new trend. They actually hit the mark before the time. I suppose maybe it's because it's a new government, which is in turn finding its own problems. But we're not talking politics right now. We're talking about a greener earth. What's the actual future mean? With wind and solar, yes, there is the discussion on recycling these things, turbines catching on fire, the fact that the batteries are non-recyclable and have limited lifespans, 20, 30, even the panels themselves, between 20, 30. But that is more or less irrelevant. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean it's irrelevant as in we should just overlook it, sweep it under the carpet and just disregard it. None of the above. I mean it's irrelevant in the sense that if you have a solar panel, forget about wind, a turbine can run as long as it is maintained. Solar panels are literally the definition of, I hate to say it like this, but lazy person's work. It literally sits there and does all the work for you. So, what do you do in that time? The lifespan of a solar panel is between 20, 25 to 30. Or you're looking at 20 of 100% efficiency, and above that mark you're looking at reduced capacity or reduced efficiency. So if you were started at 100, you would be looking closer to 80, 70, 75% reduction by the time you get to the end or the limit, which would be the 25 or the 30 mark. Bear in mind, no one has ever said, and in fact it has not been said because it is not true, that when the 25 or the 30 years pass that a solar panel no longer operates. It does still generate power, simply that its efficiency, meaning its capacity to convert the sun's rays to electrical power, is reduced. Does not mean that they don't work anymore. It means you might need to add maybe 1 or 2 more panels to get back to your original generating capacity. Hey, there are even new technologies coming into production right now which can somehow revitalize solar panels. I read a quick article and it said something about giving it a coating of some form of substance. But hey, that's another topic on another podcast. But right now, the UK, the world, just got a little greener. And let's say if we're working on a time scale of 20 to 30 years, whilst our solar panels and our wind turbines are doing all the work for us, what are we doing in between time to actually try to, mitigate those detrimental circumstances that are going to inadvertently befall us at the end. I mean, fusion is looking pretty good right about now. But once again, that's a story for another show. Once again, thanks for joining for another episode of Focus. Thanks for sticking around, and once again, for more stories like these, check out other episodes. If you want links to the articles, check out the show notes. And as always, you know what I say, Earth is an amazing place. There's a lot going on, not just the people, not just the places, but what we have done with it, what we can do with it, and what we are going to do with it. The future is bright. The future is amazing. As far as I'm concerned, it is nothing but a dream that we're living in right now. Hey, flying taxis. As I always say, carpe diem. Seize the day. And let no one destroy your zen. Let no one destroy your peace. And if you're not having a good day, hey, it's not too late to make it. Take care.